Hey there, everybody. This is Eric from Outer Limitless.
And it's Carlos from Daily Carry Solutions.
We're here in Atlanta today to cover Blade 2019.
Now there is a lot of material to cover between June 7th and June 9th. These 3 days have a lot coming, so stay tuned.
You're gonna like it. I myself actually have designed my own knife. I'm curious because of somebody who's handled all these blades. Like, I would really love your feedback and your impression and just to see what you think.
Cool, yeah, let's see it, man.
Cool. So this is the TFK T17 made by a couple of brothers. I commissioned them to make this for me, so it's my design. But it's their fabrication, and just curious what you think.
This is really cool. I mean, right out the gate, I'm a big fan of jimping on the back of any fixed blade. I like to have that so that I can choke up and I can get that type of purchase. So right away, that feels good. And it's not too sharp, right? Because sometimes when you see this wider jimping, it gets sharp.
Yeah, I know.
Right? And then you get that hot spot and you get, but this isn't too sharp. That feels really nice.
Nice.
Is this like a canvas micarta or a burlap micarta?
That's actually a stabilized burlwood. So it's a maple burlwood.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then we used a burlap micarta.
Yeah.
And then on the inside, that's just a tan micarta with a black G10 spacer. D2 tool steel. Basically, it's European standard 1.2379, which is essentially D2.
Right, essentially D2, yeah.
And then an acid stonewash finish.
Man, and I love the acid stonewash finish.
Thanks.
Now, is the edge here sharpened? Can you strike on that?
You can.
Yeah,
and so
okay, perfect.
The key in what I'm trying to do with this is give the user every potential option to build this on a custom basis. So you can pick your finish, whether you want satin or you want the acid stonewash. I have a couple of different blade steels. You can pick your spine, whether you want it squared or not. You can pick your handles, the style. I have a squared off handle in case you don't like the palm swell. So you can get a square handle or you can get it flared. They all come with custom kydex. It's fully MOLLE compatible for ballistics or dangler sheath, tech blocks, anything you want. So I like backpacking and camping. So for me to have a knife in this size is about the perfect camp knife for your typical chores. But I wanted it to be balanced and light. So the long handle for chopping, but also a little bit of balance to keep it nimble.
Yeah, and you could get back into this and you could get good chopping with that for sure. Dude, I like it all the way around, and I'm a huge fan of D2. I love D2 steel. Yeah, I think if you do it right, it's a great working steel.
In this company, they specialize in D2. They asked if I want a different steel. I said no. You specialize in it, use it.
Give me the special.
Yes.
Dude, honestly, I mean, obviously, I'd want to use it in the field, right? Like at some point, I'll have to hit you up sometime.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But just initial impressions, this is great.
Awesome.
Like no hype, like this is a great little knife. I like this a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Good work, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Dude, I love how you use the space, man.
Yeah, I use the space for the logo, and
that's super cool.
Try to bring in my my branding and stuff. So,
and you got this extra little trail here. That's sweet, man. And I love the composite work.
Yeah, it's pretty well done.
And the texture is nice too.
Yeah, how do you feel about it in terms of like if you had to use it for a while? Do you think it would be rough on your hands or actually?
No, it's perfect. No, I don't think it's not rough at all.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. I went with the European standard. So it's 1.2379, which is basically D2. But I like a large wilderness blade, and I was having a hard time finding one that really fit my niche. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to design my own. So, that would be, I like backpacking and camping and, hiking and stuff like that. So I wanted something just a little bit larger that would help me with some of the processing of wood and things like that.
You can do that. So, is that burlap micarta?
It is, yeah. It's pretty cool, huh? Thanks, guys.
Marble monster, that's for sure.
So my my concept is basically, I enjoy backpacking and camping, and I try to go, reasonable distances, 7 to 10 miles in the woods. But I wanted something that was kind of the one-tool option. D2 tool steel. I've taken a lot of the concepts that I've certainly heard you speak about over time, and having the 90-degree spine, good stout knife, the full tang design, something that's going to be durable, capable of doing a number of different jobs, and this is kind of what I came up with.
No, it's a good looking knife, man. I like that. I like that choke point. You get up on that thing for work. I like it, man.
Reasonably comfortable.
Yeah, no, that's
slightly longer handle, so you can get back light chopping duties.
Yep, I like that, man.
So,
no, that's a nice knife, man.
Thanks.
That's a nice knife. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I like it, man. It's really nice.
Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate it. it's been fun project.
Yeah,
You know how it
that's
is
nice.
to
Oh, that's
create
nice,
something
man.
and then see it come to
That's
fruition.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's something I've never seen before. Clear sheath like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So it would be eye-catching.
Yeah,
You know, it's one of those things,
is.
just kind of
I
pop.
noticed it when you first walked over. I'm like, that's cool.
I believe they call that pattern Ghost. It's like a translucent pattern, but they also have a full clear one. It's nice for looks, especially when you have a knife that you want to show off.
Sure.
But obviously, in time, with a little love, it's going to get those marks. But it lets you know that the knife has been put to use, and it's not just for aesthetics. But nowadays, even in the firearms world, people love this Kydex to be able to show off.
Yeah, that is kind of cool, man. I wouldn't mind having my Glock in one of them, man.
Exactly, yeah. Well, I see a lot of custom Glock designers and makers, DEFCON 3, and then there's a couple of other ones that machine.
A lot of guys put a lot of money in their Glock to make that thing look really cool, camo pattern,
and then it gives them that opportunity to show it when you have that outside the waistband.
Absolutely, I can see that for sure.
No, definitely.
What do you want? The dark? Dark. Steven, can we get a dark?
Yep.
We're going to have forward. It's going to be, this will be regular production going forward Saturday.
All right, so what I got in my hand here is the TFK T17. Now look at this baby here. Balance on this thing is real sweet. Handle, adjustment. So the thing I like about this blade, it's a good length, probably close to 7 inches. Good spine on that sucker, so if you're gonna baton wood, you need to hammer into something, it's not gonna break on you. Nice and straight, so if you want to scrape trees or something, get at the inner bark of a tree, or you gotta do some planing, I can see this working real well. Really great basic knife, strong steel, you can just see that with the thickness of this spine. Now you got this nice thumb jimping back here, so if you're gonna choke up with that finger choil, you're gonna be able to do some good work there, and it feels good in my hand. I got a big mitt, and that handle, fits right in my hand. Now let's talk about spirit of a blade. The first thing I normally do when I put this thing in my hand, you can tell about the designer and the maker and their spirits in this blade, and you can feel it. It feels pretty good to me, and I love the artistic flair that this handle gives. Not only is it a great grippy handle, but look at that, you got that sick brown there with that kind of teal blue and that tan. Man, that's sweet. Comes with a lanyard hole, and if you're knife fighting, it feels good even coming in low, in, out. It flows smooth, and it handles well in the hand. So I'm moving a little quick there, but I can maneuver this with one hand very easily for transitioning. I like it. It's got great weight. Feels like a really good knife. And I can see you can do not only, this can be a good bushcraft knife in the field, but as well as on the street. If you needed an EDC, it's nice and flat, you can pull it out and ready to go. And the handle, you can even choke up with it if you have to. And there's a little technique, if you had the lanyard in there, you wrap it around your hand, and you can get back here with a 3-finger deal. So if you had to do some chopping, I can see that where I can choke up real well with this thing on this choil and get a little extra power in this thing when you need it. Then choking up for the small tasks, real easy with that weight of this thing. You know what? The TFK T17 gets the Skull Crusher seal of approval. Yeah!
This is my finger choil.
Right. Yep.
And that's a 3/4 of an inch of wasted sharp.
Yep.
Other than that, it's got, the handle's long enough. You can get a pretty good hit, and it's, I would guess. Yeah.
I don't think you'd bring it here if it wasn't sharp, would you?
I wouldn't hand it to Ethan Becker, that's for sure.
You'd be amazed.
They'd be like, "Oh, this is a production sample. It's
I was back there when you were showing it to Dave.
Yeah.
I
And
didn't see him try to cut me.
No.
but other than that, your jimping's good. If I would round that off a little bit.
Yep, soften it up a touch.
But other than that, That's not much of a complaint for me. I'm a critical son of a bitch.
Right.
And one of the things you've done, which is a lot of people have not been doing, is I've got a couple of friends who make knives that make them too round.
Yep.
And you don't want them moving in your hand.
Yep.
And this is, if you're right on the ragged edge of not doing it right.
Yep.
But it's enough.
Yep.
So one of the things about the Kephart knife is how flat it is.
Yeah.
And how well just a flat, basically two little planks of wood that are tall, how it orients in your hand.
Yep.
And how well it orients in your hand. But this is a nice blade.
Thanks.
I like that.
Do you like the balance? Because I know you were talking about the balance.
Yeah, the balance is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have bitched about it if it wasn't.
Okay, fair enough.
But no, that's
There was a lot of R&D that went into making that knife, and a lot of it had to do with, you know, his experience. And I'm just saying this because I used to view his YouTube videos before I even started my own channel. One of the first ones I saw was him working with your knives. You know, the BK7 and the BK9 were, I mean, staples in a lot of his videos. And I know that, you know, a lot of the design tips that he felt that really shined in that, he wanted to incorporate, you know, that and so many other knives that have been on his channel.
The BK
for him.
Yeah, the BK7 still beats it in tests. I put it up against it, and the BK7 still won.
I'm very glad to hear that for me, and I'm happy for you.
Yeah, but no, it's fun. It's fun to even you know, try to put it up against these. I call things like the BK7 and the BK9 iconic knives. They're iconic at this point. They're everybody should have. If you're into fixed blades and you like a wilderness blade, you need to have a BK7, at least a BK7. The BK9, I personally like. I like a longer blade, but everybody should have a BK7. That's my opinion.
One of the nicest things anybody ever said about one of my knives was about the BK2.
Yep.
And he said, every man should own a Ruger 1022 and a BK2 sometime in his life.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, that's too nice.
So,
I have at least, I don't know if I can count the number of 1022s I own in one configuration or another.
Right. Right. Well, thank you for your time today.
Hey, boss.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for the looks and feels.
Yeah, I appreciate you checking it out. You know, I'm just looking to see what the experts say and how they feel about it, and just to get an understanding of my direction, you know? Yeah, so...
Well, the handle's the right size.
Those handles are perfect for everybody.
Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of knives. Even some of the biggest makers, I put my hand, they say my hand's a little large.
Right.
But not to me, that's perfect. And all of a sudden, the meat of the hand right here is going below the butt of the knife. And that does not feel right. I'm really surprised how well this fits. Well, my big thing, I was regular Army 11 years, and I always carried fixed blades, and that's what I buy all the time, even small ones. So I quite often carry a pocket-sized fixed blade, and so I like fixed.
Yeah, are you up to a criticism?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I wish it was a little thicker in here because my fingers are kind of coming over on itself. So if you're looking, it's a big blade, so you know, a little more heavy use. Over time, I think it would get a little uncomfortable. So I would like to see it a little bit thicker in here. You might be able to combat that with a little bit wider here, just basically make more girth. But I would recommend looking at making this a little bit taller here, but keep the nice rounding in there. But otherwise, the construction looks good. But yeah, I just like to handle a little more girth to the handle. I mean, overall, it feels pretty balanced. I'm not sure if any adjustment to the handle that might throw off a little bit, but probably not. It would still feel good. And the one, you know, a lot of people make the choils. Yours is right on the depth of safety. Like, so one thing, like if you put in the choil, if you have kind of fat fingers like me, you're still pretty tight right here. So a little bit more depth might not hurt, but you also don't have a ton of blade height, so you don't want to, in my opinion, don't want to cut too much out in there. So it's right now you're right on that fine line of being functional and still safe and everything, but it's just one of the things. So if you ended up adding any more blade height, that might be able to change it too. But overall, I think it's nice.
Looks like they did a good job with the texture in there, plus the way that's set in there.
Right. And with because one of these, with the liners then dovetailed, it's super clean. And even with the bolt-on construction, it's not proud. Not proud on the handle, so it's comfortable.
So, the sheath is made by Mark Irving of Extreme Edge Custom Kydex, and the mission was to make a production quality Kydex sheath on a custom, basically, build.
The only thing I would recommend on this is to get rid of the excess on the bottom, especially like you have it on your pack, so that's one thing, but when you have it here, like say you sit down, it's just something more to poke into whatever you're sitting on your leg, whatever. So I would basically just trim that tighter here just to reduce the excess. Not that it looks bad, I think functionality-wise though, when you sit down, or if you had a dangler option, it wouldn't matter as much.
That's something that he does offer.
Okay.
Tried to make this as a general wilderness survival, kind of tailored towards a military tactical application.
You sharpen this yourself?
No, actually I have the company who manufactures these. So
extremely sharp.
This is Tanev Family Knives, a couple of brothers in Bulgaria who does this fabrication. They do a beautiful job.
What's this handle made out of?
So that's a composite material. First, the blue, that's a stabilized maple burlwood.
Okay.
And then the tan here on the outside, that's actually fabricated micarta made out of burlap.
Okay.
And then the inside has dual liners with the tan and the black. It's micarta.
It's a very good grip.
I wanted it to be a little muted for the tactical application.
Absolutely.
So that's why I did the acid stonewash finish on that.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. Extremely sharp, very straight. Sits well on the handle. The handle is very sturdy. You get a good grip on it. It won't slip at all.
Can I do a YouTube video?
I like it. I'll use it. Hunting.
Nice.
Survival,
and then, so yeah, the Kydex carry system is set up so that it can be MOLLE compatible. So it's made to fit the actual MOLLE clips as well. So it fit ballistics and stuff like that. So yeah, thanks.
Good. The burlap.
Yeah. So this is a blade I've been working on for about a year and a half in total.
Wow.
I have a small manufacturer, a couple of brothers. They live in Bulgaria. They do beautiful work. I found them through testing their knives, and I saw their quality and said, hey man, I definitely want to work with you. So they've been helping me produce these, and this is what I came up with.
That's a beautiful acid wash finish. You got the burlap micarta, it looks like there, with this inlay. This is really well done with liners. This is an excellent knife, and I really like the sharp spine. That's something that we don't do, but a lot of the bushcraft guys I know rely on that, and that's just beautifully done. And it's got a serial number on it and everything. It's real well balanced. It's a big blade, but nothing like this translucent sheath. This is off the charts.
You like that?
That's really cool. So you can walk around, everyone can see it right through there.
Yeah. That'd be
no mystery. Nothing left in the imagination in this. That's awesome. An integrated tech clock in the back.
Yeah,
it's a beauty.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You showed me your Stonewash D2. This is my Stonewash D2. So I've been working on this for about a year and a half now. Small maker, a couple of brothers in Bulgaria, Tanev Family Knives. But I found these guys and I was blown away at their quality.
Oh, I love the dovetail bolsters. Those are sweet.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Yep.
I've done some like that. It's easy to do one side.
Yeah.
But when you get the two scales and you want to clock them and make it all look good, that's the skill part.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
So thank you. Yeah, I've always been into larger fixed blades, hence why I naturally gravitate to the Mongo.
Yeah, he likes the Mongo Scaddy.
I love that. I see the smaller Scaddy, but the Mongo I always gravitated. And it's very hard to come across. Third party, like third market, you can kind of bump into one now and then. Huge money for them. I mean, I'd rather just actually commission you guys to make one for me straight out.
Or two on the wall to shop.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
You
so-
gotta know the right guy.
Yeah, you got to know a guy that might know a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the manufacturer is TFK, so it's Tanev Family Knives. They're in Bulgaria, small company, two brothers who do all the craftsmanship. So this was my design, and then we kind of collaborated on the final handle design. And then the actual construction of the handle, the scales are made by a guy that I met named Wayne Walker. He makes small handmade knives, but what I really was turned on to was his handle work. So he's been making me these sort of mosaic handle scales, and then Tanev Family Knives has been doing the final contouring and the 3D machining.
What's the material?
So this is a stabilized maple burl wood.
Oh, it is wood.
Yep,
Okay.
that is. And then this is a burlap micarta.
Ah, that's why it got confused. Like,
Yeah.
looks natural, but also looks man-made.
Right. It's neat like that. So Wayne makes his own micarta. So he made that burlap, and then we use these tan and black liners on the inside to get a little bit of a differentiation there. So this is the direction I'm trying to go in for my final product. And then this happens to be D2 tool steel, and we did the acid stonewash finish.
D2 is great for outdoors.
Yeah, solid. You know, it's to me it's a perfect middle ground.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's tough, but it's not so expensive that you cannot make a knife that anybody can just pick up. I really love the handle material here. It's really interesting what he did. And this is one of my favorite design elements, is that it's simple. Nothing's overly complicated, but everything is right where you need it to be. And I noticed you got a square off spine for fire starting.
Yes.
And that's what it is. I mean, it's along the trend that was started by Becker and Essie.
Yes.
And Ranger series.
Correct.
Which I'm a big fan of. This would be wonderful. This clear Kydex would be a wonderful material for small tools. For outdoors, I really prefer Kydex than any other material because it's temperature relatively insensitive and it keeps the water out.
Yeah, that's the thing with the D2 being decent with moisture, and then the Kydex, you don't have any moisture problems, you don't end up with rust issues, and a knife that's going to be good and durable in the wilderness application.
Absolutely. And with the tack lock, so I like it. I really do like it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a long time in the making.
It's worth it. If you're outdoors, man, this knife will serve you very well.
Yeah, thanks.